How do you feel about quarantine?
So obviously I didn't think my senior project was going to be me sitting at home on my couch talking to my camera, but here we are. My name is Nicole and I'm currently a senior in my final semester at the College of New Jersey. The reason that I'm here and I'm not at school working with a whole bunch of other seniors to create an amazing short film to share with everybody and finish my final semester of college ever at school is because we're in the middle of a pandemic. COVID-19, aka the coronavirus, is taking over the world. In New Jersey, we are currently in quarantine, which means we should not leave our houses unless we are essential workers or going to buy something essential like food. That being said, I can only do my senior project from home. So I wanted to create something that not only shared how quarantine has affected me, but how it's affected everyone around me. So I interviewed 40 people on their personal experiences during the pandemic. These are 40 real people who have all been affected in many different ways. My goal with this video was to create something that people could watch and relate to so we all feel a little less alone during these crazy times. So my question is, how has quarantine affected you?
Since the pandemic, I have been working from home.
I've been working from home. My entire company has been working from home.
I decided to quarantine myself just because I have a little one here.
I've been really fortunate to be able to hold on to my job during this pandemic.
My team luckily was set up to be remote. Like we all work on our laptops, so really being at the office is just a space. It's almost just being like in a co-working space.
Appraised real estate, so we're considered essential workers because we're in the banking field. So we're still allowed to go into people's houses. But I do go in with masks and gloves and things like that.
I personally, for my work life, I haven't been affected because I'm considered an essential worker. Because I work with children and adults with developmental disabilities, so we're always needed. So I'm lucky enough to say that I wasn't financially affected by the virus.
We're an essential worker because our company supplies the maritime industry.
I'm an essential employee. I mean, my job, we're making face masks right now. We're making hospital bed sheets.
I do construction, so that's still on. I'm still working, thankfully.
We are supposedly teaching remotely from home, but because I'm first grade, we really don't have much to do.
I'm a dance teacher, so we've been trying to do online classes, so it's just been a huge adjustment trying to teach little children and get their focus from a screen.
And since I teach art and it's hands-on, it's even harder because I know a lot of my kids are limited with supplies and what they have access to. So creating lessons that everybody can do, whether they have a lot or a little, has been challenging, and not seeing them is hard.
And it's a learning curve for a lot of us because we miss our kids and we miss being in the classroom.
The dynamics in the classroom is not repeatable from online teaching. So I think the classroom vibe is something that I really miss.
I didn't get to say goodbye to my kids in the way that I really would have liked to. Just trying to make the best of it and adapt my lessons to being remote. I know a lot of teachers are just struggling, you just try to do what you can.
Due to being a senior in college, it was my senior field. I'm going to be a teacher, an early childhood educator, and my clinical 2 was cut short.
School was canceled and moved to online.
My graduation was postponed for my master's, and effectively student teaching was canceled because I'm not able to go to the school, but I have been doing it virtually.
My entire semester was moved online, and we were all kicked off campus.
Everything I had planned for was just shut down. So
I worked so hard for 4 years, and they basically ripped that out from under us.
I know a lot of people are mad about prom being canceled and all that stuff, but I think you just also have to realize there's nothing you can do about it. We have no control over it. So
if you have to work and try to teach your child, that's enough stress for anybody.
Socially, it's even worse. I can't hang out with my friends. I can't go to the bar to get a drink, and my lacrosse season is canceled, so that's a big upset.
But not having
the ability or the spontaneity to just go out and do something has been hard.
I'm privileged that I can use technology to do my job. Right? That's a privilege that a lot of people in society don't have, or maybe a lot of people in the world don't have.
I was working at a law firm as a paralegal, and I started on January 20th. And it was my first big job out of college, and I was really excited to start learning, gaining experience. And then literally 2 months later, on March 20th, I was placed on temporary furlough.
My academy for my job has been indefinitely suspended.
I was laid off from my job.
We've had to let go of like 70% of our staff. We're a small business, so we know what other small businesses are going through, and it's just like, so stressful for them, and it's just a different time, and we're just all kind of learning day by day how to figure it out.
Well, I do mortuary transport for funeral homes. With this whole pandemic and the death rate, what it is, we're just so busy. You know, we work 24-hour shifts, but my 24-hour shift easily turns into a 36 or more.
Many patients had COVID. People have from mild to severe and to death.
No one wants to go to the hospital anymore, and no doctor really wants to send their patients to the hospital if they can help it.
I'm doing my best to keep everyone I can out of the hospital. My true belief is the second a patient goes into the hospital or the ER, they get it.
My mom works in Brooklyn, so she works in the front lines with dealing with patients who tested positive for coronavirus and everything. We're all very proud of her, but I know it's really hard for her as well.
My husband is working in a pharmacy, so right now he's staying away from us. So it's really emotionally, I feel really, it's really bad.
I just thought everyone was overreacting, but now seeing how many people are dying and stuff, I think people need to take it more seriously, and everyone should be quarantined.
I was born with 2 holes in my heart, and I have a lung problem. I'm on lung steroids and a regular rescue inhaler and everything. If I were to get the virus, I would be one of those people on the ventilators.
I knew something was up. I kind of felt like I had it because I just wasn't feeling myself. And then I got the results 2 days later, and it was positive. The body aches were my body was killing me. I couldn't even turn over in the bed. It was that bad. This is really scary. So I'm glad we're all doing better, because you're hearing so many horror stories and so I'm happy we're all doing well.
Before all this, it's basketball, it's school, it's homework, it's run here, run there. So I was the first time in my adult life since having kids that there's just time. Enjoy the time, that's it.
This virus, this is science. Listen to the scientists.
I just thought that oh, I probably won't get it, but it can happen.
All around the United States, we're all going through this, and then as much as it sucks what we're going through, and as divided as our country is, that's the one uniting factor.
You grow through what you go through, so I like that motto.
If you want to do something right now, just do it. Just go, because you never know when the next time you're going to be able to, sit in your house for hours with nothing to do.
Keep at it. Try not to go too stir crazy.
Don't go to work. A lot of people will call me and telemed, and I'll be like, well, where are you? And they're telling me all these symptoms of COVID, and oh, I'm at work. I'm like, why did you go to work? So, they're not taking it. They don't really understand how easily it's spread. If you're sick, call your doctor. And if you're very sick, you should go to the hospital.
As a physician, I would say try to stay healthy, exercise, take your vitamins. Vitamin C and zinc are probably very useful in this situation. And when you do go out, glove and get an N95, because in my opinion, a scarf ain't doing nothing.
Just figure out what you like doing, which may help you find a career path that you enjoyed. Also make sure you call your friends as well, as often as you can.
Try to keep a regular routine.
Take advantage of all the technologies we can have, call your friends, have a Zoom meeting with them.
We all have to do our part, so I'm going to do my part in staying in and to stay strong, and that we're all in this together, and hopefully everything will be okay.
Honestly, find reasons to laugh and find reasons to interact.
To keep kind of intellectually busy, even like doing a crossword puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle or reading a book.
This will pass. We will get through this. It'll pass.
Look at the positive of it. Don't look at the negative.
You just have to remain hopeful and just keep a positive attitude. That's it.
You got to keep on keeping on. Whatever it is that gets you going and keeps you sane, you got to keep on doing it.
I think we just need to be patient, because I think if we go too fast, we're going to start all over again, and that would just be really, really bad.
I believe in government right now, so like they are doing a great job. Just follow what they are saying right now.
Staying home, doing what they ask, I think is the smartest thing to do right now.
Wearing masks, respecting the social distancing guidelines.
Flatten the curve.
This is only temporary, so that's what you just have to keep telling yourself.
Go out and take walks. You just have to do the best you can.
I don't know, try to fill your day up with something to do,
Try to find a line between your personal life and your professional life, because they've kind of been meshed at this point.
Try and exercise, because that'll just pass time. You'll use energy up, so you won't be up all night watching TV.
What you are feeling is valid, and just because somebody else isn't having the same experience does not mean that yours is any less.
Please stay home. I am going to die in here, not from corona, just from me going mad with my family.
Take it day by day, stay in the present moment, practice mindfulness.
Still be nice, even though people are not always the nicest back.
Learn to be at peace with yourself, because there's going to be a lot of free time,
Don't watch the news.
The storm always runs out of rain.
Stay safe, fix the big things, Take this seriously.
You got to do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do.
Stay at home, wash your hands, and see when this is all over.